I'm Curtis Perry. It's September 9th, 2014, and here's a look at what's happening now. Well, today was a very big day in Cupertino, California, as Apple held their huge mobile event. Tim Cook took the stage and jumped right into the big iPhone announcements for the day, announcing the brand new iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 Plus. Yes, that's right, there are now officially two models of the iPhone, one with a 4.7-inch display and another with a 5.5-inch display, both sporting a brand new Retina HD display. Along with that, as you can see, the iPhones are much thinner than before, and they sport this brand new rounded design, which actually looks like it'll feel really good in the hand. Now, along with that, the iPhone 6s will run iOS 8, the brand new operating system from Apple, and they also sport the A8 chip inside of them to make them faster and actually conserve a little bit more battery, though as we all know, they're iPhones, so they're probably going to burn through battery in like 2 hours. Along with that, the iPhone 6 Plus has a brand new image stabilization system inside of it. It's kind of cool. The camera module can actually move around to actually stabilize the image. Now, it doesn't actually move around like a whole bunch, but it helps out with those minute little shakes that you may have. Going along with the camera here, there are some cool brand new video modes. The camera can now shoot in full 1080p, but if you scale it down a little bit to 720p, you can now record in 30 frames per second, 60 frames per second, 120, and 240 frames per second. That's some crazy slow-mo that's going to be happening. If you happen to be interested in the iPhone 6 and you want to pick one up for yourself, you can pre-order them this Friday, starting at $199. That, of course, is on contract, and that is for the 16GB version of the iPhone 6. The iPhone 6 and 6S are also available in 64 and 128GB in size. This is the first time a 128GB size phone is actually available, so that's pretty cool. But if you wanted a 32, those don't exist anymore. That's not a thing. Now, after that, of course, people were expecting one giant announcement, and they got kind of a big announcement. Apple is moving into the mobile payment category with something branded Apple Pay. This brand new payment system is built right into Passbook and actually allows you to use your phone to pay for different purchases. Basically, you can have your debit or credit cards built right into your phone. Then you can just tap to pay with NFC, which is now built into the phone after 5 or so years of it being missing. And then you can verify with Touch ID just to ensure that it's actually you. It's actually a really cool system, something I've been waiting for a very long time. And with Touch ID, it just makes it that much more secure. That'll be coming to people in the US in October. As for the rest of the world, like myself, well, there's really no release date yet, which is kind of unfortunate. But after being let down just a little bit there, Tim Cook did happen to say this.
We have one more thing.
That's right, the famous words uttered by Steve Jobs himself, and now for the very first time being said by someone else. There was one more thing. That one more thing happens to be this, the brand new Apple Watch. As you can see, it's a very beautiful new device. It's very small, but of course, it's a perfect size for your wrist. The new Apple Watch comes in gold, silver, and aluminum versions, and it has many different types of bands that can be swapped out really easily to ultimately customize your watch. The watch includes this very beautiful color display, which, as you can see here when it's on its home screen, really shines with its very bubbly user interface. There are also many different apps for this brand new device, and every app on your iPhone can actually have a built-in app that can be pushed directly to your watch. There's also this brand new digital crown that's built onto the side of the device. Think of it like a scroll wheel, but for the watch now. This digital crown can be used for zooming in and out, and it also acts as a home button for the device. Siri also happens to be built right into the device to allow you to do simple replies to messages that you may receive. Another cool thing that the watch actually does is it can analyze messages you get, and then when you hit the reply button, it can give you simple little like one-word answer replies that actually work with your message. So if I were to ask you, hey, do you want to go for sushi or do you want to go out for steak? The phone could be like sushi or steak as options. You wouldn't have to actually type in on keyboard, you just have to select one or the other. Along with that, there's actually this brand new messaging platform built right into the watch. You can hit one of the side buttons and it pulls up this brand new messaging platform, allowing you to sketch different things and send it to other watch users. Another part that I haven't figured out if it's creepy or if it's actually cool is the fact that you can use this messaging platform along with the heart rate monitor on the back of the watch to actually send your heart rate to another person. So basically what happens is I record my heart rate on my watch, I then forward it on to you, and then your watch actually pulses to the exact same heart rate that I had. It seems to verge on the very creepy side, but it's also kind of cool at the same time that you can even do that. It's like a very subtle way to communicate with one another, but also very futuristic at the same time because I'm sending my heartbeat to you. That's kind of strange. Now, one thing they sort of skirted around at the event was the battery life of this watch. They did talk about charging it, in which they stated there's a cool little MagSafe charger that kind of latches onto the very back of the watch, but they didn't say how often you have to put your watch onto this because we all kind of know it could die die pretty easily. If it's related to the iPhone, we can only expect about a day's battery life. And in such a small device, that might be asking a lot. Now, of course, when we're talking price here, the Apple Watch will start at $349, so it's not incredibly cheap, but at the same point, it's not like buying a brand new iPhone either. But of course, if you're thinking, this is awesome, I want one right now, well, sorry, you're gonna have to wait till 2015 because that's when Apple plans on releasing it. Yes, they're saying early 2015, and that's basically all we've got. Now, one thing to note here, this is the very first time Apple has released a brand new product category since the passing of Steve Jobs and since the iPad in 2010. So it's really interesting to see how Apple is actually tackling all of this. It's kind of funny, when watching the live stream today, I really didn't think Apple was going to do anything groundbreaking, but it was surprising. When the Apple iWatch was announced, I really felt that Apple had come back from the grave. For a long time, I had thought Apple was on a downward spiral. They weren't really doing anything innovative, but they've kind of moved from the smartphone world onto this brand new wearable market. Now, one thing that they unfortunately didn't talk about was the fact that they actually killed off the original iPod. Yes, that's right, the iPod Classic is no longer available for purchase. That, of course, is the device in which Apple actually released that sort of started their whole mobile revolution. So it's interesting, as Apple moves into this brand new wearable market and a brand new frontier, they sort of seem to be leaving an old frontier behind. But of course, let's not all get nostalgic about it. If you still own an iPod Classic, that is awesome. It is now a collector's item. And if you've never owned one, well, you're probably not missing much. But with all this talk about everything Apple, I really want to know, what do you guys think about the iPhone 6 and the Apple Watch? Will you guys be purchasing them in the near future? Yes or no, and why? You can let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear everything you guys have to say down there, and of course you can also let me know on my Facebook page or through my Twitter account. Links to those are on screen right now and available in the description down below. Of course, if you want links to all of the topics I talked about today, there are links in the description down below to everything Apple and everything else. And while you're clicking around down there, why not hit that like button, subscribe, and share the show with your friends on social media. Until next time, everyone, I'm Curtis Parody, and that's what's happening now.